So here we are going to talk about sequence and series. We shall start by looking at what are the most important topics that we need to look at. Of course, we have started a series that we run until you do your main exam. So if you have not subscribed, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to upload future tutorials, you'll be notified. So under sequence and the series, we need to highlight the formulas, important formulas that you need to remember. In this case, we're going to remember the formula for nth term. If you are finding the nth term in a sequence, that's going to be given by a plus n minus 1 into bracket, then we shall have our d. So which means that the first term, this is actually the first term. N is the number of the term, D is referred to as a common difference. This is the common, and say this is the common difference. So this is one of the formula that you must remember as far as this topic is concerned, because you'll be seeing different questions whereby you'll be supposed to find the nth term. Maybe you'll be given the first term, you'll be given the common difference. So once you have understood that, you can be able to proceed and work out other questions. So maybe let me also highlight another formula. S of the number of a sum of a given number of terms is given by n over 2 into the formula 2a plus n minus 1. In that case, we are going to say d. So meaning that we are going to have a sum of a given number of terms. So maybe you are given a sequence 2, 4, 6, and then you are supposed to find the sum of the first 20 terms. So if we are saying the first 20 terms, that will imply that our n is actually 20. Our first term is 2. The common difference is the difference between from one term to the next. What are we adding or what are we subtracting? Because now we are talking of the arithmetic sequence in this case. So I believe at that given point, we can now go straight to the questions so that we can be able to see in the exams how are we supposed to answer different questions, or which questions have been tested before, so that we can be able to see how we can apply these formulas I've stated. The moment you understand these formulas, you are good to go. So let us go and dive into the questions that have been tested in previous times. So I believe if you are new to Proflan YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime we're going to upload further tutorials, you'll be notified. So now diving into the first question, we are told that here are the first 4 terms. Here are the first 4 terms. We are told here are the first 4 terms of an arithmetic sequence. And in this case, the first thing that we need to identify, this is our A, this is the first term. Then from one term to the next, there is something that is happening here. Very interesting, because from 3 to 7, we have plus 4. From 7 to 11, we have plus 4. From 11 to 15, we have plus 4. Then at that particular point, we can conclude and say our first term A is use that information in order to work out the question. Now, the last term of the sequence is X. So at this particular point, we need to also remind ourselves regarding the formula that relates the sum of a given number of terms. Sum of n terms equals to n over 2 into a plus l. This is the formula you will use when you are given the first term and the last term. So we are told the last term of a sequence is x. The sum of the terms of this sequence is this. So find the value of x. Now, from this particular question, we need to start by looking at how many terms do we have, in this sequence that will add up to 7260. So we're going to say sum of n terms is actually n over 2 into first term twice the first term plus n minus 1 into d, so that we can be able to find the value of n, and that will enable us work out the last term. So we can now say this is going to be what? This is going to be 7260 is equals to let me see this given point.